This is our episode 18 of the panel discussion. So we have personalities, media personalities, because we'll be talking about something that is concerning the media. So we have media personalities across the globe joining us who are in the blockchain and crypto space and also the fintech space. So joining us today, we have Benito Elisa. Benito Elisa is the founder, Benito Fintech News and Wakanda 4.0. Benito, you're welcome.
Thank you, Lee. How are you?
Yeah, you're doing great. It's a pleasure to have you. So we have another personality joining us today. We have Meto Ann. Meto Ann is the founder, BlockTide. Meto, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, and I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We are safe. We have another personality also joining us. He is Gediminas Klepakas. Gediminas, you're welcome.
Hey, thanks for the introduction. You almost didn't butcher my name. It's Gediminas Klepatskas, but you can call me Gadas for shorter and easier pronunciation for everyone.
Okay, Gediminas, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Gediminas is the CEO of Crypto News. It's a pleasure to have you. So we have also Cecilia Wong. Cecilia Wong is the founder, your PR strategist. Cecilia, you're welcome to CoinNewsExtra.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. So another person that was supposed to join us on this panel is Elisha Akia. So he is here to join us. I don't know, maybe he's having challenges. So he is the founder of Block News Africa. So today we'll be talking about the role of media in blockchain and crypto adoption. So we are glad to have you. So it has been blockchain and cryptocurrency adoption has some news, some negative news surrounding it, and the media platform that are in the ecosystem has a very big, have a very big responsibility to make, to shaping and structure the way people see the blockchain, so that they will be able to see this, to see the positive aspect of it, not about the negative, because there are many positive aspects of blockchain and cryptocurrency. So the question we are going to ask today is, do you think media has a role to play in blockchain and crypto mass adoption? So, Gediminas, what's your take on that? Let me start with you.
Yeah, I thought I didn't start that. Okay. So basically, obviously, that media has a role to play. And we should definitely separate crypto media from the mainstream media, as mainstream media has a role to play in this, a huge role, but they lack education. They focus on whatever negative aspects of crypto news are there around the world. I mean, anyone hacks Bitcoin, as you know, they put it in the title. They're all over this, and if anything positive happens, they don't really care about it. So it's kind of one of the most misunderstood technology and that it is there yet. So media, we as a crypto media platform, have a huge role to play in educating people, educating journalists. Eventually, hopefully positive news will flow in the mainstream media. At this point, when I speak with colleagues, we're always saying that, fine, we're providing the information, we provide the truthful information, truthful from, our biases, but we're focusing on the 1% who are there, in the crypto market. The mainstream media is focusing on the other 99%. So it's our duty, I think, to educate the mainstream media and try to get more positive information from the mainstream media. But overall, it has a big role to play. Media has a huge role to play in crypto mass adoption, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that's very insightful one. So, Cecilia Wong, you are PR strategist. So, do you think the media has a very big role to play in the industry?
Absolutely. I think that can you hear me actually?
Clearly, clearly.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely. I think that basically, in general, even how the general public get their information is through the media. So definitely, media has a critical role to play in blockchain and crypto mass adoption. Um, for me, right, besides the media, I think that education hand in hand with media as well as the regulations. I think these would be the three areas that are fundamental in establishing any kind of new technology, especially disruptive technologies like blockchain. For me, first of all, I think that media, while important, very important, it has a critical role to play. But while it's important, it has to work hand in hand with education. Together, there needs to be an outreach, both in the education as well as in the media, towards educating the general public, schools, okay, and also in the workforce. And then the government, which is the third part, in terms of regulations, governmental regulations, I think that this is one area also that will be very critical to blockchain and crypto mass adoption. And for the media, they really should be supporting very balanced and objective coverage of the technology, of the news, very they can't be because I see sometimes in the news where there is a lot of opinionated coverage, and I would prefer really that for news, unless it's an opinion is an out at then I'm happy to see opinions and all, but very often in the news I see that there is opinions that are written into the news, which I think is not very useful. So this is one area that I think that the news should pay attention to when they're making a report. They should really be clear and objective about the coverage. And I think also that yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, media definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I have to cut it short. Sorry, I
No
will have
worries.
to take. I will still come back to you with other patients. So let me move to Benito. Benito, you are a emeritus in Africa, and you are in the blockchain space, and you are also in the fintech space. What do you think? Do you really think that the media has a role to play in this industry?
Yes, Lee, of course, the media has a very important role to play. So I will share my personal experience here in Mauritius. I'm from a banking and finance background. I've joined the blockchain and fintech industry since 5 years. So there was a need to create news articles about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So lots of journalists were coming to me. Okay, but when they were going to translate the interview, because all the newspapers here are being written in French, so the translation is not sometimes too good. Okay, that's why there's a need for the journalists, even the crypto media, like we are calling this here, and the traditional media, there's a need for them to go and do some research to educate themselves about the technology and cryptocurrency, so that they can write the right features, benefits of blockchain and cryptocurrency. All right. So even in Mauritius, lots of people have been talking in Africa lots of people have been talking about blockchain, cryptocurrency. There was like a hype, but there was a lack in terms of how to implement these technologies, what can be done and all that. So I've created my own news. I'm not a media guy, but last year I've decided to create my own news. It's BFN, Benito FinTech News, where I'm trying to promote blockchain, cryptocurrency, fintech project. Have invited all these people, fintech projects, to come on board and discuss about their projects. I think, yes, you're right. There is a great role, critical role to be played by the media to push to promote blockchain and cryptocurrency.
Thank you very much. Neto, what's your take on that?
Okay, so with this one, actually, we do have traditional and crypto medias, right? But when you say media, it's a wide variety out there. There's magazines, there's advertisements, there's billboards. So we have to separate between the thin line between the traditional media and crypto media because it's a very wide variety out there. So the purpose for this is the main key is the education that we provide. And yes, I agree with Cecilia that we have a critical role in the society as well as for everyone who is interested to know more about blockchain and cryptocurrency. So it is our responsibility to provide the right information by educating people, especially the youth, because they're the ones who's going to be in place after this in the future. So we need to educate more youth and of course a lot of people who's interested the better way. We can definitely, especially here, just wanted to share that a lot of people asked me about an MLM cryptocurrency used by Ethereum. So a lot of people was actually asking me via message that what is this? What is Ethereum? What is like that? So I was bombarded last 2 weeks ago about it. So it is important for us to educate a lot of people the right message, what cryptocurrency is, and how about, I mean, the beauty behind blockchain. It is not just about cryptocurrency. That's my point about it.
Okay, thank you very much. In case you are just joining us, this is CoinNewsExtra virtual panel discussion. So today we are talking about the role of media in blockchain and cryptocurrency adoption. So in case you have any question, our participants, you have any questions you have for the panelists, you can drop it, we'll take it when the time comes. So moving forward, Meto, you made mention about separating it from the general media to the blockchain media. This brings us to the next question. There have been a lot of negative news from let's say the traditional media platforms about this industry, blockchain and cryptocurrency. So what do you think, what are the roles of the media industries, media platforms in the ecosystem, the blockchain and fintech ecosystem? What are their roles in rewriting this negative news done by the traditional media? Still with you, Mito.
Okay, so in addition to what I've said earlier, that fake news is very powerful. So we need to be very careful in providing news to other people, especially education about blockchain and cryptocurrency. That's one thing, it's negativity. So we need to focus on the positive ones. We don't need to accept all projects out there for them to be advertised because not all projects are good enough, right? So my piece on that is for us to be responsible again in providing education and the right message on what is blockchain and cryptocurrency is.
Okay, Benito, what's your take on that? You've been able to see over here in Nigeria, we've been able to see some news about some things being said about crypto and blockchain. There was a time you can't even go to the traditional media to mention Bitcoin and blockchain, though these things are coming down. So what's your take? What can we do, we that are in the media sector, in the ecosystem, to correct this?
That's true. There have been lots of negative news about cryptocurrency, not really blockchain, but the cryptocurrency. This is due mainly because, there was lots of scams around the world when we make reference mainly to the ICO times. Lots of projects were only with their white paper. They were going to raise money everywhere, then disappear, and we have got lots of scams. Okay, that we can't deny. Okay, but we need to the specialized blockchain and crypto news. We are here to give the real news. Like Metal was saying, that fake news is very powerful. And we are here to give the real features, benefits of using blockchain and cryptocurrency. I have my own opinion of cryptocurrency and all that. So I think there are some questions that will come later on. So I will give more information about it later on.
Okay, thank you very much. Cecilia Wong, what's your take on that?
Actually, I wanted to say that, well, as the others have already pointed out, I think right now there is a lot of negativity, like accorded to media, not just in crypto and blockchain media, but in mainstream media as well. I think that in general, because there's a lot of fake news right now, media has to do a lot to gain credibility. I think there has been like many surveys and polls where compared to earlier decades, so far, I think the trust in the veracity of news media worldwide has been going downhill. So I was thinking, because that there are actually some projects right now that are using blockchain, the technology itself, to actually to actually get the truth in media. Okay. Okay, we all know that blockchain, the technology itself, has decentralized and immutable features and aspects of the technology. This technology provides us solutions in areas where we need transparency and authenticity. And I was just thinking that we could actually use blockchain in actually transmitting media itself. And since we're actually in this industry, why not? I'm sure that, it's a very easy thing to just, say, and to implement would probably be very much more difficult. But I think that this would be something that maybe media, especially in the blockchain and crypto industries, might want to look into, because after all, we're the proponents of this blockchain technology. So I'm thinking that, it would actually be, I guess we would be logically the best people to start with. I mean, I know that there are already some projects. I think the New York Times, they were using Hyperledger Fabric permission blockchain actually to guarantee the provenance of digital files. I mean, there are already projects starting with this, but I'm saying that, since we're in the blockchain industry, it would be really cool if we were the ones to actually champion this whole movement going forward.
Thank you very much. Gediminas, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I have a few ideas on this, actually. And obviously, there's no point for us to compete on the quantity of readers we have with the traditional media. The way we should compete with them is that represent us and present the information on our websites or mediums or whatever you want to call them, on our sources as an expert opinion. And in this case, we are basically winning, present them objectively instead of appearing, like we're shilling the project, which is kind of difficult in many times. But this is something that we should be working on, just basically be the expert opinion on the things that mainstream media is covering. As well as that, the issue that Benita has mentioned with the translations, of the content into other languages. That's what we're doing here at Crypto News as well. I mean, we have 10 languages right now, and we're looking to expand even further. And we're always hiring people or working with people on other bases with local people who are interested in the blockchain sphere, who know what they're doing, who know what one thing or another thing means. And that's, bringing that in your own language, the quality content to you, that I think is another niche thing that we can do to compete with the negative news from the traditional media. Because, I mean, in the blockchain space, everyone pretty much is reading and knows English. But again, it's not about us, it's about the other 99% of people.
Okay, thank you very much. We are looking at what this ecosystem, how to project it to people as via media platforms. So let's, if you look at how things are fared during this period, most especially in this pandemic, how has the fintech and blockchain media outlets performed in creating education content and awareness about blockchain into the public? What would be your opinion? What will you say the way these media platforms in the ecosystem have been able to pass the message across to the public? Cecilia, let me start with you.
How they have performed, I would say that there is a range, I guess, on performance levels. There are some, I guess, crypto blockchain publications that are doing very well, and then there are also, I would say, some crypto blockchain publications that are mainly, I would say, they're just more or less accepting news and just publishing them without too much, I would say, research into the various projects. So, I mean, for the question that you're asking right now, is it just for education purposes, or would you say that it's more about
Yes, creating education for people, creating awareness and education content for the public to understand the ecosystem. So how will you say the media in the ecosystem has really performed?
I think in general, I would say that they've done a good job. In general, yeah. If you're talking about educational content, I would say that yes, this has been, I think that a lot of, yours as well, crypto, CoinNewsExtra, a lot of crypto editorials. I think that, you guys have actually been doing a very, very good job. Not only putting out information about projects, current projects, but also giving a lot of background about the whole blockchain technology, about, the history and all of that. I think you guys have been doing a good job, actually.
Okay, thank you very much. Meto, you and Cecilia, you are in Asia. So Meto, how would you say media platforms in the ecosystem have really performed from the Asian point of view?
Point of view, I really love Cointelegraph. That's my favorite news site. And of course, there's a lot of...
Ooh.
No,
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
the first. I'm sorry. That's the first. But I love all the media in the blockchain because we are striving hard for us to provide the key message of what blockchain is. We have one vision. We are one team. So this pandemic actually made me realize that you cannot go through this alone. So we need everyone, especially those who believe what beauty behind blockchain is, or what is the beauty behind blockchain is. That's the main message. So we need to be partners with each other, and of course help each other to thrive. That's the best key message.
Okay, thank you very much. Benito, what's your take on that? You are from the African point of view. How you assess and rate the media in the ecosystem.
Yeah, just I really like what Meta just said, because we need to work together. It's not about competing with each other, right? That's what will make us grow. We will grow together. Okay. So in general, I'm quite satisfied with the work which have been done by all the specialized blockchain and crypto media. But we are very few. Okay. Of course, compared to the traditional, which has been here for thousands of years. Okay. So yes, and I like to partner with like actually I'm doing with regard to education. There is some like we work together. Mietul and I we work together on one academy from Dubai, the UAE, which is called which is named Dubai Academy.
Dubai Academy.
Exactly. They have created like a general course on blockchain and cryptocurrency at very affordable price. So we are working together with them to try to publish this and share it with maximum youngsters, people who are interested with blockchain and cryptocurrency, of course.
Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. Gediminas, what's your take on that? You are joining from Europe. What's it from European point of view? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our readers are mostly from US, but still, yeah, of course, I'm from Europe, and I think I see. I will not rather focus on what we have done during the period or whatever, but on the issues that are there right now with the educational content, and I'll contradict a little bit on the cooperation side and on the cooperation side. First, let me put it this way, because this is a huge business overall. Education is a huge business, and even if you do affordable courses and if you have 1 or 2 million people paying for that, even for $1, and you have like 1 million people who wants to do the course, you receive $1 million. That's of course on paper, because we all know that it's never that many people. But still, this is a huge business, and people want to compete for the money. And competition sometimes brings out the best, sometimes brings out the richest. And this is, relatively complicated topic, and we could discuss this for a long period of time. But still, ideally, yes, we would like to cooperate. We would like to have decentralized courses or anything like that. But in the real world, we know that this will not happen in the near future. I mean, everyone is looking at this as a business and wants the piece of the action, piece of the money. And as for the issues that are currently there with the educational content provided by media platforms, I'm not talking about the news or anything like that, because news, I mean, you kind of either cover them and try to educate in the news, or you just cover the facts. You're trying to lean on the facts, but the educational content, I see 3 issues there, main issues. First being, everyone wants to shill their own project. I mean, shill for those non-crypto people is basically promote their own project. And this is a huge issue, and the most promoted courses are probably those who are promoting their own project and product, or their own new Bitcoin, so to say. The second issue is the speed at which the industry is changing. I mean, we created guides like several months ago, and now they're outdated. So you have to constantly have someone updating them. That's so different to traditional mathematics or stuff like that, because I mean, they're still using the same, well, not all of them, but I mean, they can still use a lot of educational content from 30, 40 or 100 years ago. in some industries, and in this industry, everything is outdating so quickly that it's really complicated to create high quality content, educational content. And the third issue I see is the lack of interest by the general public because they see this as, and I'm talking about more deeper education, not what is Bitcoin, how to open the wallet, how to create an exchange account. And the lack of interest is due to how technically complicated it is and how relatively poor the user experience is there right now. I mean, once we're improving on that, and I mean, pretty much everyone in the industry is working on improving user experience and user interfaces, trying at least, on the blockchain sphere. But it still is complicated. It still is not for everyone, and not everyone wants to dive deep that technically. I just want to click my iPhone and send payment or receive payment or whatever. So whenever it gets to the point that all of us are talking about, and I think are agreeing on that, that no one will even know that it runs on blockchain, whatever it is, it's not payments or anything like that. Whenever you won't know that, you won't notice it, only the business side will know it, then it may be adopted, may be interesting, for the general public.
Okay, thank you, Gediminas. In case you are just joining us, this is CoinNewsExtra virtual panel discussion episode 18. So we are talking about the role of media in blockchain and crypto adoption. So this time around, let's see, we have about 2 questions. And let's look at it. I'll just read it out. Maybe if it is the one that are being directed directly to anybody, you may be able to answer it, or anyone can answer it. So the first question is from Greenville. I see media in the blockchain are really key to this mass adoption. But are there any blockchain media union or association available? He's asking if there is an association for media. Is there anyone, maybe, I don't know, in Africa? Benito, is there anyone?
No. I don't know any union association with regard to media in Africa. Everyone is doing its own stuff, its own way.
Another thing is it's not about being available. Is there any need for it? Gediminas, is there anyone from Europe?
And no, not really. In terms of cooperating as more media partners, we do cooperate with some companies about cross-selling ads or stuff like that, but it's not about what content we provide or anything like that.
Okay,
Sadly,
Cecilia,
I would love to, but it's not there yet.
okay. Cecilia and Meto, is there anyone from your region?
Not that we know of, I think. There isn't an association of any sort, not that I know of. But I think actually this wouldn't be a bad idea, because maybe we do need some kind of association so that we can start setting up standards. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It actually sounds like a good idea to me.
I actually started planning that last year, but I haven't really started it yet. But what I did is I actually partnered with a lot of medias, crypto medias. So if ever that one project wants to provide any key message about their project or anything, I create a package, and then of course I give them what is necessary. I mean, the package, the crafted package, everything. So that's what I do. Strategic partnership. That's what we call it.
Okay. Another question here is from Mark Agony. He said, me to talk about the principle of education. What is opinion regarding the next level of certification for alumni in next decade? He said micro certification, open badge. Is it? I don't know about it. Meto?
Okay, that's for me. Okay, so actually, what Benito mentioned earlier, that we are partnered with Dubai Academy. So when it comes to education, there's a thin line again between the traders, the ones who's really into general knowledge about blockchain, and into coding. So there are three types of education that we provide. So it's about trading. So those who are interested in trading, of course. And then the other one is general blockchain use cases. And the last part is coding on how to create like softwares applications. So that's
Okay,
what Dubai Academy offers.
okay, that's
There's
interesting.
certification. Yeah. You
That's
can check
very
out the website.
okay.
So
That's very very interesting. Let's move
I
to
think
the question.
so really, yeah,
Okay.
it would be good. I will extend this program to all of you here if you're interested, so we can talk about it later on.
Okay, well, we can discuss about that. Let's move. We are coming, drawing closer to the end of the program. So, well, the question I have here is, what are the challenges blockchain media outlets are facing, and what should be done? So, we are into media. We own media platforms. So, what are the challenges we are facing? Benito, let me start with you. What are the challenges media platforms are facing, most especially in Africa?
Yes, of course. Whatever we are doing, there are costs which are associated with all this. Sometimes you don't have the support from the blockchain and fintech companies who are willing to publish all their contents and all that and talk about the contents. For me, BFN, it is all about interviews. Then we put it in a final form. Then we release on social media and all that. So that's a bit of one challenge, I would say. The second one is with regards to the regulators and also with banks. Here in Mauritius, the Financial Services Commission, they have categorized tokens, crypto as a digital asset class. So here, whenever you talk about cryptocurrency, it is not recommended to use crypto here. It is recommended to use digital asset. At the end, it means that's the same thing, but it is better to use digital asset in order to avoid problems with banks and regulators, would say. That's a bit of my challenge here.
Okay, Gediminas, what's the challenge you're facing? And what are other platforms they're facing in Europe?
In terms of challenges, I would always like number three. So basically, I have another three challenges that I see right now. The first one is being there for the media platforms is have a sound financial business model. It is insanely difficult right now to have it. And I mean, if someone thinks that media, all the media publications receive insane amounts of money, by sponsorships, anything like that, I mean, you can start your own website and try and see, it's top few who lands significant amount of the money, and everything. And others have to scramble, and figure out how their business should be running, and figure out how to sort out financially, so you would be able to hire high quality journalists in that regard. The second one is basically lack of professional journalists in this space. I mean, we're trying to hire someone from US for a significant amount of time, someone who could be our US editor. And it's really either insane amount of money, which we don't have because the financials are not there, yet. Or it's someone who doesn't qualify, it doesn't seem to us, as a really good journalist. And third, probably the most important one for crypto publications is basically figuring out how to break through the noise, through the false or fake news, figuring out, how to break your message, your real credible information that you provide, and how to compete, then with the mainstream publications who say that crypto is shit, and it's just only for scams and drug buyers and criminals, which is insane. I mean, if you think how much dollars are used for that. So that's really a key challenge, I think, one of the most important ones, how to break through with your quality information through the false and fake news and through all the bullshit noise.
Thank you very much. Nato, what's your take? What are the challenges?
Same with Gediminas. Yeah, it's very important for us to break through that barrier between providing the right information, especially those. I don't want to mean anything, but there are really bad people who is really taking advantage of situations like this and taking advantage of other people. So we really need to break through that barrier and, of course, provide the right message for them.
Thank you. Cecilia Wang.
I agree with both Gediminas and Myrtle. Yes, we definitely do need to do that. And for me, I also think that the funding part of what Gediminas was, talking about, I think that is actually probably a very, very critical factor that really affects whether or not a media outlet is able to provide good quality content, because not just to find journalists, it's not just about, yes, getting the right journalists would be very important, but also the fact that a lot of times, with sponsored content and non-sponsored content, with the sponsored content, it is actually very important for editorials and media outlets to have sponsored content, because that content is what keeps the outlet going. But at the same time, the integrity of the outlet is also being questioned sometimes, because people are saying, oh, okay, what, this is a paid news that we're reading, so how credible is that? So I think this is one area that I guess is problematic. So there has to be a way where sponsored content should also be. Because sponsored content is not necessarily content that can't be trusted, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that, but people have this kind of a mindset that, oh, this was paid for as an advertisement, so does that make the content less trustworthy? I don't know. I think what happens, like you said earlier on about having a union and all that, I thought that was actually a very good idea, because maybe we do need some kind of governing association or some kind of organization that actually is able to for in the case of traditional news wires, before news is put out, they actually have to vet it, and that someone has to be accountable for the news being put out. So I'm thinking that along these lines, we could use that as a base and come up with more not regulations, but like guidelines, as to how news could be verified, within the crypto and blockchain circles. Maybe we need that.
Okay, maybe we need that. Interesting.
Can I just say one quick note, on what Cecilia said? We were thinking about it a lot, and obviously we're tagging the sponsored content, et cetera. But the time of publishing in this industry is so significant that, for us to publish like 1 minute or 2 minute breaking some big news, like for instance, we did on Samsung introducing the blockchain wallet like a couple of years ago, I think, if I remember correctly, We broke the news 2 minutes or 3 minutes earlier than Cointelegraph, CoinDesk. And obviously, we received a lot of traffic due to that fact and due to Google News picking it up as the earliest. It's the first announcer, basically. So in this regard, I mean, eventually, yes, some kind of moderation would be ideal on news, but it's not really feasible on breaking news. And that is minutes or sometimes seconds, you know, on the publishing time means a lot. Means either you receive 50,000 visitors on that article or you receive 50 visitors on that article.
Mm-hmm. No,
So it's kind of complicated issue.
No, I totally get what you're saying on that. But I was comparing it to how traditional news wires work, in that they actually first do a KYC on people who actually release news. So as an agency, I release news through traditional news wires as well as on crypto and blockchain types of publications. And for it, I find that for traditional news wires, I have more vetting, I would say. Like they first do a background check on us as an agency, and then we have to vouch for the information that we're giving out, which is something that I find lacking in, I guess, the crypto circles, which I feel, you know, if we had that, might actually work towards giving more credibility towards the entire industry as a whole. That's you know.
Thank you very much. We are coming to the end of the program, so we have one more question that I have here before we draw the curtain. We'll be using 1 minute to answer it. It's just a simple question. What does the future hold for crypto and blockchain? Gediminas, let me start with you. What does the future hold for crypto and blockchain? Just 1 minute.
Yeah, the moon for Bitcoin. But overall, I mean, I see the future bright. And as I mentioned in my previous comments, I see that people will not even understand or know that they're using blockchain solutions for whatever that it's run on. And I mean, we can ideally think that banking sector will collapse and Bitcoin will take over or anything like that. But I would rather have banks adopt blockchain solutions rather than collapsing, because that might bring a lot more pain to many more people. And I see blockchain and crypto as bright future ahead of us, and I'm happy that we're here still early, even though it's 10 years later that it was introduced pretty much. But we're here still early, and I see the future bright for us.
The future bright for us. Okay, Meto, what's your take? What does the future hold?
Well, actually, for me, transparency is the best about blockchain. So just imagine blockchain being implemented in the national IDs, in the government, in the election. No corruption. I mean, we have a big enemy, and we all know that. But of course, the future is in blockchain. I really believe in that. That's why I'm still here. That's what sustains me, and this is my calling. I believe this is my calling. So that's the future about blockchain. The good about it, it's the technology itself, not just the cryptocurrency, not just about Bitcoin, but the beauty behind it, the transparency.
Okay, thank you. Cecilia Wong, what does the future hold?
Yeah, I agree with Myrtle totally on that. I guess we're mostly in this whole industry because we believe in it. We believe that blockchain is the answer to a more equitable world, more transparent. So I definitely do think that it's not going to go away. I think that it will take more time because transforming a society, to using very, very fundamental and disruptive technologies will, obviously take a much longer time than people are willing to give it. So which is, why every now and then you see people coming out and saying, oh, no, blockchain has failed. Bitcoin has failed or whatever, but these are very, very fundamental types of changes and disruptions that we're looking at right now with blockchain and with Bitcoin. So, I mean, Bitcoin, basically we're proposing an entire whole new monetary system. I mean, it's a very, very fundamental change. So obviously, I think it's going to take a while more, and a lot of work still needs to be done. But I firmly believe in it. Like Myrtle, I think that there is a bright future.
There is a bright future also. Benito, what was your take?
Yes, no, with regard to blockchain, I'm very confident that blockchain will be, how to say, most of the companies and government will be using blockchain in the near future, all right? It will take some time, but they will be using blockchain. So I'm quite a big, not pessimistic with all, because we have like thousands of crypto actually, okay? There are very few who will survive, okay? That's what I'm saying, it's my opinion. And there will be a rise in CBDC too, central bank digital asset currency, okay? So because why there are some negative comments, news, opinions, feedbacks about crypto is mainly because of money laundering. So there should be a balance between money laundering and cryptocurrency. So the best way for me is maybe, okay, I think because the government, the authorities, they will try to push the CBDC, okay? They will try to find a balance both with anti-money laundering CFT measures and to try to use the positive parts of crypto. That's what I'm saying for the future of blockchain and crypto.
Thank you very much for joining us today. So we are proud. This program is proudly sponsored by Nimedes Ecosystem Technology Limited and Tech and Miami University Blockchain Club. So we are so grateful to our participants who took our time to join us. So thank you very much, Benito, for joining us today on CoinNewsExtra.
Thank you. Thank you to yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Meto Ann, for joining us. Thank you very much, Cecilia Wang, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Gediminas, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.